Hi Capricorn, welcome to your June 2018 reading. My name is Donatella and this is your June 2018 forecast. Now, as you know, this is just a general reading, but what I wanted to tell you is that I had to actually wait to do your June reading. And the reason for that is because it has to be at the right time for the right energy to do each reading. And I had to make sure that I was grounded because during this season, you guys are going to see a lot of fluctuation. And I had written something because I wanted to explain to you guys what is happening during this time. So as you know, usually first I talk a little bit about what is happening with the astrology. And then right after that, I'm going to tell you what is happening with the tarot. But if at any time you feel like it's really necessary, you need to get a hold of me, just maybe questions, or you just really like to contact me, my email is donatellaempressofswords@gmail.com. And if you would like to request a menu of different services that I offer, I can also help you with that as well. Okay, so let me explain to you what is happening right now. And I'm hoping that I can provide some relief because things were meant to be set at the stage they are right now, so that way you have a chance to see what it is that you really want. Because during this time, a lot of us will be tested, especially since the fact that Scorpio is in Jupiter for a whole year long. I mean, a lot of people's shadow sides were coming out. I mean, the realist and the rawest things were coming out. And this will end in November. So what I want you to understand is that if you guys are in a romantic situation right now and it seems like it's at its worst, the energies are going to create a lot of mishaps during this time. And it's just truly testing you to see if this is really truly what you want and if you'd go through the depths of hell for somebody that you really, really desire. And it's just set up this way so that way you can get what you want, someone that is going to really work hard for something that they want to achieve. They will allow things to take time. They will understand things, and you will be enlightened more and more. And as I was taking notes, I was looking up where the planets were aligned right now. And when we look at how the planets are aligned, you can get a real understanding of truly what is happening to you at this time, regardless of who you're dealing with, regardless of how you're feeling inside. It could be just the energy too. Sometimes there's just life, you're just things come at you, or you're trying to keep steady balance. But this is what I'm going to explain to you, and this is what I found in my in the planetary alignment. So I took some notes, I wrote it down, I typed it up, I have it ready for you guys. I'm going to read it to you. But for some of you, I've received different emails from various different Capricorns, and I could really empathize with what you're going through right now. I could really understand the pain and the suffering and the hurt that some of you are truly going through. And if you guys want, I would love to have just like a small, short, simple prayer at the very end of it. So if this is not something that you guys need, or if this is not something that you're interested in, by no means, I am not offended at all. So this will turn into a 3-part if you wanted to. So this is just a prayer for you guys, so that way you guys can get your strength and get the courage of being able to get the success that you need, and whatever God that you believe in. It's just, prayer is so healing. It can help a lot. So if it's been a while for you, we could do that at the end of this reading. But let me go ahead and explain to you guys what is happening with astrology, and then after the tarot, if you guys want to shut it off, or if you guys want to stay, I will have like a small little short prayer for you. I just want to make sure that you guys are feeling blessed, feeling confident, and able to get to the next month as you pass this month. Okay, so as we left the season of Taurus, the sun is in Gemini, so now it's the season of Gemini. And this is occurring from May 21st through June 21st. And we can find duality in ourselves and others, and it causes us to want to increase more and more communication. The reason for this is because the planet Mercury represents communication, and Gemini can also represent duality. So if you've been having communication with your partner, friends, whoever, you kind of feel like you're getting a sense of duality with everybody that you're talking to. We feel the need to be more social, talkative, and whimsical. But remember, you can also feel very indecisive and even nosy. This is a time that you will feel the need to strengthen your communication with active listening. This is where you practice your mirroring skills. After a person is done talking, it's really important that you play back what they have said, especially if it's an important matter. So I have learned that there's a three-step process for myself, and this can kind of help with communication. So if if you guys are really open to it, I just have a three-step process to help you with problem solving when it comes to people that are kind of difficult. The first part, if you ever get yourself in a situation, is empathizing. The second part is reassuring, and the third part is resolving. So after the person is done speaking, it's best to listen to them, let them completely finish. When the person is done complaining, repeat back what you've heard and empathize. If you see frustration, take yourself into the point where you can fully immerse yourself in another's shoes with no judgment, saying things like, "I understand your pain. Wow, you do so much." Basically, agreeing to the frustration. Not saying that they're right or they're wrong. You're just basically agreeing to the frustration, because like my favorite part when I'm complaining to someone, or I've had a really tough day, or I've had a problem, or whatever. My favorite one is when I say something and someone says, "I know, right?" I really get that sense of like that person just really cares. And feelings are just sensors, like light sensors in the car when your engine light is on. You can't just get mad at your car when the engine light comes on. There's going to be different frustrations. There's different things that are going to come along, and patience here is really required. When a person is done complaining, after you say, "I know, right?" or when you say, "Wow, you do so much," just that word that is just repeating back, and it's just confirmation for their feelings. When you repeat that back, it's too early to say "but." You know how sometimes people have a conversation, they have an argument with someone, and they say, "Yeah, I do, but," it's an argument, but it's like a backhanded argument, and it's not a pure form of resolution when it's done this way. So the best way when you're empathizing is when a person is done speaking, let them finish, repeat back what they're saying, and just let them know that you understand. Let them know that you understand. And also, the second step is really important. It's actually the most important step out of all of these steps, and that is to reassure. Reassure the person that you care for, that you are truly in this together. Actually, verbally, even telling them we are in this together. If in actuality, this is something that you wish from that person. So if you're wanting someone to be consistent, we must be consistent ourselves. And when you realize the more alliances that you have, the more others will work for you. You will start realizing that you can affect your own happiness through this way. There's a cause and there's an effect. And are you willing to see compromises for the best? Especially if this is someone that's so important for you. Are you being compassionate enough to reassure someone? The final step is to resolve. By showing others that you are sensitive and strong enough to make magic happen, the final step automatically comes into play with much less effort than before. Processing the first two steps, empathizing and reassuring, allows the third and final step to take its own form naturally. This all comes from your own mind, your own heart, your own spirit, your joy and positivity, mapping yourself in a state that you want to be in, like really telling yourself, this is really what I want, and you really getting that. And it could be in many different facets of your life. It could be with your family relationships, it could be with your personal relationships, it could be with your friends, it could be also with your coworkers. So empathizing, reassuring, and resolving can really, really help. Now, what I want to tell you is that when there is a lack of communication, meaning no listening, no compromises, no security, there's judgment, blame, negativity, you'll find yourself naturally wanting loopholes. And when you find your loopholes, you will feel even weaker as a result. As a human being, when your needs are not met, even just by a natural way of communication, it can make a person feel like they need to scavenger to satisfy their hunger. In that sense, we become animals and we go into starvation. Starvation can be a form of lack of air. Maybe a person needs some space sometimes when there's too much hot, heavy heat of frustration. So we have to step back, give that person a little bit of air, so that way they can have the right words to say rather than being, angry. Food, water, sex, sleep, homeostasis, meaning fluctuations and not feeling balanced, which could lead to death if a person is not balanced. And excretion, whether it's your feelings that you need to purge, or you need to excrete something that you've always wanted to get rid of. But most people just need to talk to others to find out how to problem solve. And a lot of that time, people are not intuitive. They are not aware of that direction. So you need to know that setting your GPS has to always be set on at a higher frequency, because one false move doesn't just affect you. It affects your partnership, it affects your friends, it affects all the outside influences, and even eventually it can affect your finances. Because when you're in a really good mood, and when you're feeling great, when you're your most happiest, when you're accomplishing the ultimate person that you always wanted, and you're at that higher frequency, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like that support that you feel in your heart when everything is like smooth sailing, free flowing. And there can be negative influence from many different facets in your life. And sometimes it's not just people. Sometimes you talk about a problem to your friends. You talk about a problem with your relatives. They don't know the direction that you want. They haven't been in the relationship that you have been in. They don't know how you are tethered. And this is what I've tried to explain so many times. But sometimes when we want to express ourselves, we need a loophole. We need someone to listen to us. We need someone to hear us out. But you have to be really careful with where you're getting your advice from, whether it's the people or the music or the environment, or it's just that feeling of lack. You have to track where that feeling is coming from. You have to really go down to the source. Sometimes it's not even our partner. Sometimes it's just our overworking, because I know Capricorns, they work a lot. They work a lot because they want to succeed. They want a successful life. And satisfying the hunger from loopholes can mean talking to others about internal issues. The parties that are outside of the relationship that can cause conflict, family, friends, etc. Going to others for a solution rather than the person that you had issues with. A lot of that can mean sometimes the answer is just compromise, you know? Instead of talking to the other people, you know, you have to find a little bit of a compromise. Now, if you see that there's absolutely no compromise, but there is actually love, this person actually has unconditional love. With unconditional love, anything is possible. Like, absolutely anything is possible. And let me, you know what? I want to pause. I want to pause because I just got this great idea. And it just, you know, when I have a vision, I have to share it. And I'm having this vision right now while I'm doing your video. And it just, and I had an aha moment. Have you guys ever seen Game of Thrones? Well, if you guys have not, this is actually pertaining to you. So don't think I'm getting off topic, okay? There is a part in the beginning of Game of Thrones. There is a girl. Her name is Khaleesi, okay? She is, in my opinion, I know everybody has their own opinion, I think she's absolutely beautiful. And it's not because of her beautiful looks and her beautiful way. Well, it's actually more of her beautiful way. It's not nothing to do with the outside, because I think she's absolutely gorgeous on the outside, but on the inside, she's so courageous. She's so loving to the point that love conquered everything. So let me explain what happened in this story. So Khaleesi is a princess. She lives in a castle, and she has a brother, and they both look like I think they were twins or something, but they kind of look identical, but he's evil. And he knows that the kingdom is losing money, or something happened with the parents where they were gone and they lost everything. They lost their kingdom. Everything has been taken away from them. And her brother tells her that he sold her to someone for marriage, and she's thinking, oh, you know what, I'm going to be betrothed to some marvelous king, and he's going to be amazing or whatever. And she's a virgin, and she's never been with anyone, and she's just like, I'm so scared, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself, pretty much. I mean, she's not saying that, but like, you can kind of sense that feeling like, oh God, what am I going through? Anyways, her brother's really disgustingly sick, but he sells her to a king that is not the regular king that you would think. He's very barbaric, and he doesn't live in a castle. He lives in a tent. He lives in a tent with other people that live in tents, and they're dirty and they look like Mongols. And the day of their wedding, it was just so like disgusting. You know, she's just sitting and he's just like eating, and he's just like, you know, the people there are just barbaric. You know, they're just nasty, and she's just like this clean princess, and she's just like, she's quiet though, and she's observing, you know, she's very humble. She's very, very humble. She's quietly observing these people. But then she understands, like, this is actually my husband. This person is my husband, so now I have to make the best of it. And at first, she's tricking herself, you know? She's thinking, I gotta make the best of it. And then I think a few days go by, and he's just like, when he sees her, he doesn't respect her. He's just thinking, oh, you're my piece of property. I'm gonna do whatever I want to you. I'm gonna have my way with you. You're my queen, but you're beneath me, and you're going to do everything I want. And that's not his style, regardless if there's a love there or not. That's not his style. He's never been learned this, okay? I'm sure his mom was barbaric like him. I'm sure his dad was barbaric like him. I'm sure their culture was completely different than what hers was. It's different. It's different. It's not that it's evil. It's just, it's different. It's different than what you're used to. But I mean, you could say that it's evil because they were like chopping people's heads off and killing people, or like whatever, you know, they were barbaric. But the night comes when he wants to make love to her. And, you know, at this point, she has three choices. One, she could freak out. Or two, she could just start crying and acting like a victim, you know, because he's about to take over. And he was. You know, he pulled her, he lifted her legs up, and he was like, it was going to be like a bad thing, you know? But at that scary moment, she looked into his eyes and she showed him something he never seen before. She showed him love. And instead of being scared, instead of being angry, instead of being aggressive or anything, or instead of pulling away, she showed him how to love her. She taught him slowly, in such a patient way, in such a loving way, in such a slow way that he could not help but to fall in love with her. It was so beautiful, the way that she softened him. From that moment on, he learned that no matter how aggressive he could be, that her love can turn him around, that her compassion can turn him around, that sensitivity, that love, that affection, that understanding and not judging, but slowly being patient, because at never any moment did she ever flinch from, you know, showing the affection that she had to show him. And through that time that carried on, he became a different man. He respected her. She became a queen. They were side by side. She was ruling his people. She was saying things. She was taking charge, and she was pretty much his right-hand man, to the point that when he died, she was so used to being in charge that his friends were like, "You're not going to be a leader." They didn't have the respect for her like he did when he was gone. But she kept the faith still. She was like, "This is my kingdom, this was my husband, and I love him, and I'm going to take care of this land for us, regardless if he's dead or gone." And this was the person that was barbaric in the beginning. But in the end, when he died, there was no one else like him. There was no devotion like that, because how much someone can melt someone so much. So turning your feelings off with drugs, alcohol, using forms numbing your feelings will block intuitive nudges your body has been trying to show you. There's a reason why your stomach feels funny when you don't feel good about something. There are sensors, and the more we block ourselves, it becomes like a callus to a broken heart. Numbing yourself with shopping or gambling, as we find distractions, we cause ourselves more debt, when it's just a simple fact of communication and actually really truly telling someone how they feel, and just being vulnerable and exposing yourself, but then being strong enough to carry yourself through the fire and out. You will understand that distractions will have their own time and place. This is just a temporary time of suspension. The question is, how long do you want to sit in it? June is also one of the most entertaining times of 2018. Most weddings are in the month of June. A lot of celebrations and gatherings are in the month, starting during this time. Gemini in the deck of tarot is actually the Lover's card and the Soulmate card. It's accepting the duality of both souls, both different but divinely paired, like the salt and the pepper shaker, both perfectly set on the dinner table always. However, they are completely different, which is why they are so awesomely paired. When it comes to Gemini, they have an insatiable thirst for knowledge, especially in the communication department. It is more of an airy energy, a breeze of insight into being excited to accept what is to come. You have a sense of birds of a feather flock together. The idea of having a combination of a dynamic duo, or even a collaboration of collective ideas. As you go through this month, think about the next group of relationships and friendships you want to regroup with. Will they be positive force? It's up to you. This is a time when others can come together and have a chance to talk and open up the Pandora box and see what they are willing to pull out or lock up. So during this time, a lot of light will be shined on everything and everyone. So don't think it's just you and you guys are the only ones that have issues. A lot of these people are. And especially from the emails that I'm getting lately, you guys, it's not just you guys. There's a lot of unstable relationships that are happening right now. You guys are not the only ones. But during the time of May 14th to June 9th, there is a feeling of being loving, poetic, and romantic. Venus also influences the feelings and emotions. Venus is said to be the goddess of beauty, love, marriage, and relationship. Gemini has an insatiable thirst of knowledge and communication, so a lot of this will have to do with how you feel about your own relationships. The June 2018 new moon gives good fortune to finding protection to yourself and your loved ones. It predicts a good time for lasting happiness and being well known. A new moon is a valuable time to set goals, so this is an especially suitable time to start a new project. This is also an indicator that it will enhance your business. You want to surround yourself with favorite people, with luxuries, pleasures, clothes, entertainment, and much more. The full moon on Thursday, June 28, 2018, Capricorn. This is about you. It's in at 6 degrees, okay? So the full moon is all about you. Also during this time, Saturn is in retrograde, okay? So I'll explain to you what that means. Everything is actually going backwards right now. It's in the process of repair. So it's supposed to do this. Let me get the time frame. The reason why everything has been shaky was because it was meant to be fixed from April 17th. So if there was some kind of crazy blow up that happened from April 17th, even May, this is going to be the catalyst to repair everything working backwards. And this will happen until September 6th. September will be a portal of major change, which will be a way, September will be a portal of change. So whatever you had started in April, whatever you were really focused on, dreaming about, really wanting, truly wanting, this is supposed to be a portal to open during that time. So if you've done the things that you've needed to do, you've pushed along, you know, it was unconditional, everything was taken care of, or if it was a job that you've been really working hard to, you know, get it going, you've been doing all the right things, that portal should open up around that time, especially around October harvest season. The Gemini season teaches us to accept the good and the bad and asks you to see the Pandora box in front of you. Realize that what you are willing to sacrifice for, unless you know the truth. And knowing the truth means allowing others to be vulnerable, to know that there can always be a solution if that is the position you want for yourself. When you sacrifice for someone else, is it a true mirror? Is it a true sacrifice? You must understand, to have someone like that, you must also be open in a very vulnerable way, an accepted, nurtured way, through the healing of communication with, through compassion, empathy, and resolution. Now understand that if you are in a position of savior, you will mirror a partner just that way, however, in a different direction. Remember how I said one is salt, one is pepper? Accepting the beauty in difference. Understand what your intention is. If you are in need, you will find others more that way. The reason you are meeting several different types of people is so that you understand the lesson of life, to heal, to learn unconditional love, and to learn what cycles are causing changes. Once you are secure in your energy in a much more positive way, you will not only project what is more positive, but you will see that your life and others' lives are changing around you. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and do your guys' reading. Okay, so right now you're really thinking about like success and getting things started off the ground, and you know, like getting your business going, like money. We need money coming in. We need to do, I think there's like a worry about money coming in, but I want you to rest assured by the end of the month you're going to know that everything is fine in the money department. You've been working on it. But you're kind of feeling like you're the hangman, so that's what's crossing it right now. You kind of feel like you're in a position where you don't know which way to sway, which way to move. You feel like you're hanging in there. You don't know what position to make. Let's see why. Okay, so in the distant past, you were being patient. You were trying to wait. You were trying to wait. You were trying to wait. You were waiting for something happen. And then communication stopped. And it makes you feel like when the communication stops, it's really hard to focus on getting the resolution. In your frontal mind right now, really what's overweighing you is you feel like whatever has happened to you is not fair. Whatever you're going through is not fair. And you're thinking about this a lot. You're thinking about it too much. And in the near future, you're going to take a risk. You're going to do something different. This is something different that you normally do not do. And you're going to do something totally, totally different. And when you do that different thing, you might kind of feel regretful. You're going to feel like, I still had 2 out of 5 cups. I still had 2. Like if this was like a percentage thing and it was like a diagram and there's 5 pieces because it's the 5 of cups, and this person feels like this after they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to go take a risk. I'm going to go do these other things. And then right after, it's that feeling. So right after that, you're like, you know what? I'm going to get serious. I'm going to get serious, and I'm going to try to contract this in somehow. Either a contract is going to come towards you, or something you're going to do that's going to make you feel like, I need to seal this deal. This is like what I needed to do. This is what makes me happy. I need to seal this deal. Whatever it is, whether it has to do with money or a stability, a foundation, or even a marriage or a commitment, some kind of form of commitment. Like, because you cannot go on feeling this way. So when you feel this way, it makes you want to, change something. But the thing is that you feel like you have to kind of choose, when it comes to this commitment, you kind of feel like you have to choose between different types of forms of money. And you feel like when you choose this person, it's like the lower side of money, or you feel like it causes it to sway. If you feel like there's abundance all of a sudden, if everything feels good, and then more money is flowing in, and then all of a sudden when things are bad and you're not feeling good anymore, you feel like it hinders you kind of financially too. Because when things were steady, there's ideas that come in, there's like affection that comes in, and it helps you like flow more. And with that feeling, you start seeing that, okay, wait a minute, when things are good, I'm actually progressing in my life. Because there was a time in your life that you were just waiting and waiting and waiting, and you're saying to yourself that it's not fair. So as I'm looking at this Capricorn, it's a timing thing. It's still a timing thing. And there's things that you want to say to this person, Capricorn, that you don't say. You hold back. I feel like there's a sense of worry in you. There's a sense of fear. There's a sense of mistrust. That's why you don't feel comfortable with the communication, or that's why the other person doesn't feel comfortable with the communication. But it goes back to that story, like I said, when you truly show someone that you're dedicated, and it's affectionate, and through that love, it can carry anything out. It can carry anything out, honestly, but it just honestly has to be on a consistent basis. Because after you want to make that contract, you start thinking, okay, what different ways can I do monetarily? But it's, when you think about it, you're actually truly not thinking about it in the right way, because there's actually outside thoughts that you can actually, there's some idea that you haven't opened yourself up to. You feel like you have to juggle between finances and this person. And there's something else if you create, it can organize it in a way where it could balance things out. There could be a balance of some sort. But it has to go with communication. You have to find out, what are the issues? How are you going to solve them? And in a way that you can form a resolution. Because after this thought process, at the end of the month, I see the Chariot card. And at the end of the month, I see you pushing through and going forward. You're actually thinking about moving. So I don't think it's right away, though. I get this feeling like it's because you're still waiting. Hold on. It says that you're pushing through. Okay. I'm going to get some clarifiers. Find out what's going on with you. Okay. Okay. Okay, so a lot of you guys have been hurt, like really, really hurt. And you are trying to find the strength to overcome things. And you feel like there's been a lot of, deception. And maybe even some form of, like, control. I see that there was a lot of control between you guys. A lot of control. Which was the reason why this disconnection happened. And I see that you're taking the control off, and it's lifting burdens. But then, if it's also, not only is it lifting burdens when you're taking the control off, it's also killing you at night. It's making it harder to sleep. It's making, you not being able to be that close and have the access that you had before is hurting you, but you're trying to stay strong. You're trying to have this face where, like, you're strong. But in reality, the reason why you're doing this is because you feel like this sense of betrayal. And the thing is that what you need to understand is no one is currently attacking you. There's no sense of attack. It's actually an illusion. And there's going to be a time where you're going to take some time out. And you're going to start repairing yourself. You're going to think things through. You're going to think about what you want. You're going to think about how to achieve this. And then I see you taking a chance. I see you and the other person actually wanting to take a chance, and then you're going to start approaching them, or either you or them. They could also be a fire sign too. Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or unless you have fire in your chart, so then that means possibly that you could be the one that is racing towards this person. But somebody is racing to someone, and it's very passionate. It's that drive, like you gotta go, you gotta get your person, but you're holding on tight. You are holding on tight because your ship is about to come in. It's about to come in. So I'm just gonna leave it out there. I know you guys are getting a little excited. I just want you guys to hang in there for the time being. I know I had the sense that this was going to happen for you guys. I really, really did. I had the sense that this was going to happen to you guys. The thing is that if you want something really, really bad, you're going to move heaven on earth, Capricorn. I know that about you. I know that about you. You guys are capable of anything, even during stressful times. You might be complaining, you might be hating life, but when you know you want something, There's nothing in the world that could stop you. You guys will do whatever it takes to get to that point. Okay, guys, so this is what I have so far for this month. If you guys need a little bit of a prayer, I'd love to do a little bit of a prayer and just leave this with this tonight. And then hopefully I'll see you guys at the end of the month, and also the other month's readings as well. Okay, so if you guys would like a prayer, I would like to start right now for you guys. Dear God, as I pray with you this evening, I ask that you strengthen Capricorn. You help them achieve everything that they need, Lord. I pray that you help them see the light. Help them see the light in others as they change their life and they become a better person, and others are better with them too. I pray that you give them the healing that they need, the strength that they need to accomplish all the goals that they have, Lord. I pray that you give them divine guidance to go through the challenging times that they face. I pray that you heal them through the anxiety that they have. I pray that you take the fear out of them and every negativity that was inside of them and their partners and their families inside. I pray that you give them healing for them and their families. I pray that you bring light into their heart, all the Capricorns in the world, Lord. This month of June, strengthen them so that way they can see the light, that they can see the goals that they have. Let them know that they can manage anything in their life, that everything is in abundance, and lack is a lie. The devil is a liar. Let them know that they can conquer fear, that they have the strength for what it takes, that they can accomplish anything, that they can be happy, they can have the whole package. And it's through you, God. Amen. Okay, guys. All right, so if you guys want to email me, you guys just want to talk, just a little chit chat, or if you guys want to know what different services that I offer, you guys can definitely email me, okay? Again, my name is Donatella. My email is donatellaempressofswords@gmail.com. Thank you, guys. Hopefully you guys like, share, subscribe, and even comment. I love it when you guys comment. Oh my goodness. It's you know, like it's just that interaction of friends and, you know, getting together and sharing, you know, it's amazing. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for all of your time. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. I hope you guys have a great month. Thank you, and God bless.